Everyone, it is currently the 3rd of November 2016. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. Haven't put out a update in a few days now, but we do have something in the tropics I definitely do want to talk about. Tropical storm Meari, now continuing to track this storm system, which has been really out here for several days now. Almost about a week we've been paying attention to what the models have been suggesting a typhoon possibly forming heading into this coming weekend. Right now, this is getting more and more organization. It does look like the outcome could take place. Overall, the convection continuing to improve. This has a lot of moisture flowing into it. But towards the west and towards the east, there is also two other areas in the tropics. They're kind of competing with some of the energy from this. Albeit, though, the Japan Meteorology Agency has upgraded this one. It looks like the stronger of those areas. Winds right now 35 gusting to 50 knots. Pressure about 996 hectopascals. Moving west slowly, and that's something I want you to remember through the rest of this update, because the slow motion of this storm system is a direct result of a very weak steering flow. Whenever we talk about weak steering flow, we're talking about the potential for a almost chaotic storm, and this could go a lot of places. This is actually the track from the Japan Meteorology Agency over the next 72 hours. Really doesn't go much of anywhere, just slowly off here towards the west. Meanwhile, the JTWC, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center out of Hawaii, also says a very similar outcome. The next 5 days slowly intensifying. But if you take a look at this track, you might get a little scared, especially if you say you look straight due west. And somebody even did that to me earlier today. Didn't even read one of the posts I made on this specific scenario and just looked due west and said, oh no, Luzon, southern Luzon, do not do that ever. This is part of a cone of air. You could just as easily look towards the north and say, hey, this is going to be going off towards Okinawa. The big thing you want to take away from this, it's moving slowly, and there is a huge cone of air with this. So a few factors for that. One is that we have this code surge continuing to move in from the north, and the other is our competition with the low towards the west and our other tropical depression towards the east. First, that cold surge. Now, that's moving towards the south, and that's kind of suppressing these storms. This has a lot of shear and a lot of dry air with it, and that is why these are just kind of getting pushed down here towards the south, and overall both of these areas are going to be just kind of fighting with that. One thing though is that the surge is likely going to kick this one off towards the east, and that's why I'm not really talking too much about that, the other tropical depression. This area though, it might just be far enough south to kind of miss the exact effects from that surge, and that's what some of the numerical guidance is kind of hitting at. Even the ECMWF is it doesn't really know. You know, when you look at models and you see the forecast with them, and it shows, you know, or pressure readings or anything, that's actually the end average of what the numerous runs from the same model kind of put out. And this is the ensemble from the ECMWF. A lot of the outputs from that model actually pull it towards the east, and a lot of them pull it towards the west, and that is why this one is so hard to forecast right now. You have a few factors taking place here in forecasting this one. Not to be a wishy-washy forecaster, it's almost like 50-50. I'm actually leaning more to 60-40, 60% west, 40% north. But right now, it's not 100% sure. And that's why, if you are out here, you definitely at least want to be getting prepared for the potential of a typhoon. Because if this does drift towards the west and it kind of beats out that ridge that's pushing it towards the south, it does have the potential out ahead of it to become a strong typhoon if all the factors in the worst case scenario fell into play. Right now I'm making this update on Thursday, guys. If that was to take place, it would be not probably Monday, Tuesday time frame if everything kind of fell into place. By then, I think we would have a much better picture. So for now, just continue to check back in. I hope it goes northeast and we don't have to talk about this one anymore. This is just a pain of a storm to forecast. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment box down below. I always appreciate your feedback. And as always, thanks for watching. All right.